Hey, crypto heads, it's the Goos. We're finally back. We're with the Cryptic Paranormal show. It feels like it's been forever since we did the show. I mean, it really hasn't been. It was only 1 week off. But
Right.
Heisenberg, it's feel like we've been forever without you. How's the family? Everybody healing up? Everybody good?
Yep, everybody's doing fine now.
Good.
Good.
Good deal.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing, D Nice?
Pretty good. No complaints.
Yeah, that's it. No complaints.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in complaining about complaints anyway. So, no,
True.
I'm good.
True. I've been pretty busy with the new job and everything. Put a lot of information coming at me from everywhere. A lot to learn in this new position that I took. And wow, my brain was fried. And last week I couldn't come with my A game, so I just like, you know what? Let's just back off, take the week off, regroup.
Yeah.
I know Mike was having, still having some issues at home with the health and everything going on there. So we took the week off and we are back and we're just hanging out with you guys. So feel free to chime in, ask questions, sign on and watch us would be nice. I think we got 5 people watching, 3 of us.
Yeah, the NFL draft's on tonight.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we have the NFL draft.
Oh.
First round. So first round's the hottest, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty important.
Yeah. So everybody's watching their show.
I gotta go.
Yeah. I got my Browns jersey on.
Lights, camera, action. You have my attention. What's up, George?
Thanks, George.
You got us. But hey, George, I want to get with you. I want to have you on the show. I know you got a bunch of stories to tell. I've been following you on Facebook for a while. Totally dig your awesome, positive vibes, and I'd love to have you on the show sometime and talk to you, get to know you a little bit better. Hey, Addie, madam, questions? You have questions? You have questions for us? Or do we have questions for you?
Or maybe because we said type questions in the chat, so she just typed questions.
Addie, a smart ass.
Nice.
George, absolutely. I'll get in touch with you via message like after the show or tomorrow sometime. I'll get you on. Dustin, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in a bit. I feel like I haven't seen a lot of people in a bit. It's been a crazy couple weeks. But so yeah, you missed a good one at Shalersville, Mike. It was interesting. What do you think, Denise? What was your overall feeling?
It was good. It was definitely a very active location, but it was nice to not be super scared the whole time. That was definitely different from normal locations that I go to. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a nice place. Nice calm place.
Yeah, and that's why I think we like to get our newer people in there first, kind of just like slowly break them into like a comfortable feeling, but still like they usually come away with some kind of like, that could have been paranormal type thing. You know what I mean? You caught some awesome footage. I think Shelly actually cut it down for us, right?
Yeah, that was.
And I meant to download that so everybody could see it, but I think a lot of people have seen it already. But catching that shadow crossing the door, I've analyzed that a million times, and I can't explain anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't.
There was nothing that could have made a shadow in the hallway, and especially for it to move the way that it did.
Like, yeah, and you can almost see like a head and legs form as it moves across. So I don't know. It's like, I love it so much.
Yeah, that was such a good catch. I can't believe she caught that. It was so quick.
Thanks, Dustin. Yeah, that was a great catch.
Yeah, she's always watching out for me, though. Even though she wasn't there with me, she was still watching, doing her thing, making sure I was okay. So she knew what to look for, I feel like. It was good.
Yeah, it was an awesome time. We love sharing it with you guys. It was a bit of a harder setup than Madison just because of having no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, they have no Wi-Fi, guys.
I know. So instead of like using all of our phones and being able to use the computer as the hub, we had to like rig it so I was actually using my phone as the Wi-Fi so I could use the computer, and it was all over the place. So not quite the setup I was hoping for, but we did pretty damn good, I think.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
I mean, even though it was like pretty much 90% Denise doing all the investigating, which wasn't really the plan, but it just what
Right?
had to happen. Somebody had to watch out for you guys and like, interact with you guys while she did investigating. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a good time. We definitely had a good time.
Yeah, it was crazy. I showed up late as usual, and we ended up talking to what's that guy's name? From Shalersville. I can't remember.
Ron.
Ron. Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking to him for like a long time, and we had planned to like set up at like 7, and it's now like 7:45, and we're like, and Goose just looks at me and says, "You're probably going to do a lot of solos tonight." And I'm like, well, fuck. Let's go.
Well, I mean, if there's going to be a location that you're going to have to be investigating a lot by yourself, then that's definitely the place you want to be.
Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, I mean, I'm not used to that. Like as soon as I got into this job or hobby or whatever, like I started at Madison, that's where I got my feet wet, and that's not really a place to get your feet wet. That's like jumping all in,
Right.
So, so it's a good idea to take people to Shalersville for their first time. I like that idea.
Definitely. What's up, Ryan? How you doing, brother? Hope you're well. But yeah, for sure. And that's the funny thing too, because I think with our newer people, we took them to Shalersville first, and then we jumped them head first right into Madison. We're like, all right, here's benign, and here is crazy ASF.
Yeah.
Be ready for pushes, scratches, whatever you want. I mean,
right?
You're gonna get it, but no, it's So
how's expect, like, a welcoming party at Madison? You're gonna get like get the fuck out, like, all this other stuff. Like that's just what I was used to. So to go to Shalersville, I was like, oh, okay, like this is not bad.
Right. Yeah.
It's just a house.
But it was still, it was still very active. I'm not saying that at all. It was still, very active.
It's a different kind of active. It's like, I think a lot of what we experienced there is residual stuff that's just already there. And I was talking to Tina, our friend Tina Frick, who's on our team, is also a very gifted psychic medium.
Yeah.
Who unfortunately hasn't been able to work with us too much because it's like the minute she joined the team, COVID hit, and then she got COVID, and she's been having some health issues, and I think she's finally on the mend now. She had to do a little stint in the hospital again last week, but she's back home, and she said she's feeling better than she has in a year. So
good.
Hopefully we can get her back. Anyways, we're talking about it, and she's like, "Yeah, it's definitely residual." And I had to mention, when I'm there, and I don't know, you probably feel the same way, Heisenberg. The energy is just weird. It's like you can't figure it out. It's like
I was gonna say it's hard to put it's hard to put something on that. I don't understand. It's a weirder feeling. It's a different feeling.
Yeah. And I explained to Tina, I'm like, it's messy because I don't think it's just the entities and the stuff that we're feeling that live there or had something to do with the actual house. There's so much stuff that's been brought in, and it's like Madison, but imagine 70,000 square feet of antiques and all that smashed into one old house. It was just like everywhere you look, there's just things and stuff and all amazing things and stuff, like old toys, like even there were toys in there from like our generation, like a toy Urkel. I mean, come on. Just like randomly placed in there with a bunch of actual antique dolls, which was
that freaked me out the most.
I got a picture of that.
Yeah, I know, it was hilarious. But it's just messy because it's like you don't know where all that energy's come from. It could be attached to anything in that house. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know, it's a really cool place.
And it was very different too, just because it's not a location that's really ever investigated. Yeah. So the whole time I was there, I got the feeling like, what is she doing? What is that thing she has? You know what I mean? Like, it was very like, I could tell that they were hiding because, or just like not interacting. Like I know I'm not psychic at all, but I could tell when something's going on, and there was definitely something there, but it seemed like it would be behind me. And then I would turn around and it would like hide somewhere else. You know what I mean?
And it's not like Madison where it's like intentional misdirection.
Right.
It's
It was
like,
just
I don't know who
letting
these
them
people are. Why
do.
are they
Yeah.
creeping around my house in the middle of the night?
Mhm.
You know, like looking
Yeah.
around the corner, like, what the hell? What
Right.
are they doing?
Why does she have all these cat balls? I don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah. And how the hell do they have fire in them? They're lighting up. Like they probably don't
Right.
even understand them. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
cat balls that light up, like we have to
Right.
start fires to light things to light our
Right.
way. You know, you're throwing balls
Yeah.
around with cat toys that are on fire. What are you doing?
Right. You know, whereas at Madison, we turn on the Phasma box and the first thing it says is, it's the box. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they know. They're like, oh, okay, we know what this thing is.
Yeah, it's like, okay, now we can talk. We have
Yeah.
just
Whoa.
kicked my table. Sorry. Yeah, we just yeah, I don't know, it's weird. I completely lost my train of thought, almost knocking my computer off the table. Justin, I believe everyone has psychic ability to be but some more than others. They can be developed. I think everybody has the intuition, the ability to develop that for sure.
Yeah.
I never thought I was psychic or would ever think that I would be able to pick up different energies or like feel emotion that wasn't mine. But
Right.
when you open yourself up to that and you start feeling it, I mean, you really do. And you start getting a deeper understanding of what those people went through. You know,
Right.
and a lot of times I try not to get too much of the history so I can maybe confirm some findings that we may gather during the investigation to what actually happened there. But
Right.
I don't know. Plus, we like to just jump in and get going.
Yeah.
We just like get moving.
Yeah, I like when I go to new places and I get a tour. You know, like I love, maybe it's just because I'm a tour guide, you know, so I like that part of it. But I love getting tours of buildings. I want to know everything about the building. Maybe I don't need to know everything paranormal, but I like the history part of it.
Yeah.
And
The history
you know
part
what?
is definitely the most important part.
Right. And the history honestly doesn't even always coincide. You know, like on our history tour, we always talk about Elizabeth Styles.
Mhm.
I think there's been maybe one time where we possibly had Elizabeth in the building. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's
Okay.
not like taking a history tour ruins your night.
Right.
You know, it's still good. And I'm not that skilled. I'm not worried about ruining.
Well, I mean, it's like any presentation, just like when we're growing up in high school and how to give a presentation. You know, you have your bullet points,
Right.
the things that matter, and then you kind of fill in with the paranormal stuff towards the end of that part of the outline.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
date, what happened on that date, who was involved with it. Oh yeah, and there were ghosts here.
Right.
You know, just like as a hook to keep them interested in what you have next to say about the history.
Right.
But, yeah,
But when I go, I want to know, like, when was this building built? What was this room used for? You know, like that's the kind of tour that I like.
Right. Yeah, because it helps. It's like a huge help. Like it's a huge tool to use later on when you're actually investigating. Like you know what that room was used for. So you're going to try to connect with the people that may have used that room or have been in that room.
Right.
Doing whatever job they were doing, or if they were sick or, you know, whatever.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. Kathy doesn't like to know about a place before she goes. I'm not at that level though, Tony. Kathy is at a level that I will most likely never be at. So I totally understand when people like Kathy don't want to know the history and stuff because they get it from outside sources. They don't need a tour guide.
Right.
But I do like to do the tours.
I love the tours.
Yeah.
I like them as long as they are the historical. I mean, when I'm there to investigate, I want to hear the history, short and sweet. I want to know what's going on, and then I'm ready to like test that history against what we investigate with. But I mean, I've been to so many where it's like all paranormal. Like, well, we've had this experience here, and like, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours later into your investigation time, you've learned nothing about the building, but you know where all the ghosts are.
Yeah.
You know, right?
And they're not saying anything to you because you know where they're at.
Yeah. It's like, well, you already know what we do and where we've been, so we don't really need to talk to you tonight. But Tony said you're better than you think, Shelly.
Shelly. Yeah. I'm not there yet. Maybe someday I'll go in blind, but oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. You just need to back off. It's your job. I was just so excited for tonight. Like we were back on.
Right?
Especially when you make them blind by blindfolding them. Nice, yeah. Northern Ascension Paranormal, what's up? How you doing? Not sure who from North Ascension we're talking to. It could possibly be Meg, who stands out in my mind. I know there's like Dawn is one of them, and some other people. I'm sorry if I forgot their names, but Meg and Dawn are the main ones.
Just stop.
Sorry.
Stop.
I was gonna say,
Meg, I'm sorry. We love you, Northern Ascension. We love you. We need to have you guys on too, actually, on the show. Like,
Goose is just booking up the whole year in the
Yeah,
comments.
like,
Anyone else?
I got a job now, so I don't have time like during the day to figure this out like I had for the last 2 months.
I know. I missed when you were not working. It was nice.
Yeah, I know. Except for the no money thing. It was great.
Yeah, you know. Wouldn't that be nice?
Let's see what Eddie has to say. I really enjoy using my own intuition and just listen and try to connect with the location and investigating. It's epic in my eyes, especially when they are there, when you're there alone. Yeah.
No.
You're like, no,
No.
completely don't agree.
No. Yeah, like our friend Peggy Goodell, anytime she goes on to a location, she goes by herself. Like,
are you serious?
Yeah.
And she's been going a lot of places.
Yeah.
Like,
she is so brave. It's crazy. She's been
she goes to Hinsdale like by herself?
Yes. Poatstown, Hinsdale, Wildwood, Fairfield, Madison. She's done them all by herself.
Wow.
Right?
That's awesome. Good
and
job,
I was proud of myself for going upstairs at Shalersville by myself while you were downstairs and I had everybody on the live feed.
Right.
You should be proud of yourself.
I was like very, very happy with that. I felt like I didn't need to be involved myself. Just watch the chat like a good little boy, and
it was fun though. And our chat is so amazing. Like everybody in the chat is like, "You're doing so good." I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
stop it, guys! I'm gonna cry." Right? Just stop.
I might. You never know.
Did you guys go in the first house?
We didn't go into the cabin or anything. Number one, because I knew we probably wouldn't have time to cover everything with just the two of us. Mm-hmm. Number two is, as you know, I can't stand those skeleton keys. Those old-fashioned keys that I cannot line up for the life of me. And it'll take us 3 hours to get a door locked, especially in the dark.
Yes.
Is it just one room in there?
Yeah, it's just one room, but like it's the old style key with like the little, like
it
the
took
long
us
thing.
Literally like it was at least a half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have time for that.
Oh, and that night we spent when we had the chapel open too. Oh my God, it's that was even worse because you had to shut them a certain way for them to seal correctly, and then you had to figure out the key. So it's like another hour and a half just figuring out how to shut the door. It's like, oh
especially
my God.
At the end when you're like just done.
Yeah, it's like you're ready, you're all packed up, you're ready to go. I gotta get these damn doors shut.
Right.
And it just sucks because they're totally worth being in there and investigating them, but I don't know. Tina says Wycliffe has a hidden little cemetery with Civil War soldiers buried there, and there is an abandoned building behind it. Ooh. I want to kidnap Denise and do a small hunt there.
You don't have to kidnap her, you can have her.
Right?
Yeah.
Heisenberg's like,
I swear to God, like at the beginning of this year, Denise was like, I need to join the team. I want to go ghost hunting. She's ghost hunting like way more than we are, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah, you should see next month, dude. I am so I'm so pumped for next month. It's not even funny. Yeah. I have OSR, I have Monroe House, and Old Licking.
Nice.
Which you guys obviously know about Old Licking because
you're going to Old Licking? Are you really?
Yeah.
What? Come on.
With these jerks that I talk to sometimes.
They force me to be on their show, or I let them be on my show, whatever you want to
Don't talk about Ray and Kate like that.
Shut up, Casey.
I love Kate.
Yeah, she's not in here. Don't worry about it.
What's up, Mr. Casey Boatwright from Gateway Paranormal? Also, shut up.
Shut up.
Tina's like, I'll take her any day. Well, what about us? Nobody
No,
wants to take us anymore.
it's a girls'
No.
trip.
We're just like the eye candy of the show. Everybody
Yeah.
just loves Denise, though.
It's totally what's happening here.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Tony said he never got anything at Old Licking.
Old Licking is hard to investigate just because of where it is. I mean, it's like right in the middle of their downtown area.
Oh,
So, but I mean, I think we could have done better. But the only time I've been there was when our friend Weebs was there, and they're actually just recording her doing like a reading of the place for. Casey, you shut up. She was like doing like a walkthrough for RU Media at the time, so we were just kind of like hanging out.
Yeah.
So we didn't like get to do like a major investigation. We did a little bit afterwards, and Heisenberg scared the shit out of me, so that was fun.
Not on purpose. Not on purpose.
I know that's the funny thing. But yeah, I can't wait to have you there and have the team actually like have the whole night, and Terry and Darren will be hanging out with us too.
awesome.
So that'll be fun.
Have some Columbus crew.
Yep. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Columbus crew. John Ward and Hillary Ward will be with us too.
What?
So, yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, well, all of our group couldn't make it, unfortunately. So we had to fill in here and there with some of our other friends that were super excited to be investigating with. Like I haven't actually investigated with John and Hillary too much. I think I've only like been with them like one time at Madison.
I never investigated with him. I mean, I've seen him at like MadCon and stuff, but
yeah, I haven't ever investigated with him either.
That'll be fun.
Just to say, he's never been to a place that wasn't plagued with traffic noise. Moonville Tunnel late at night, but then you get birds and insects.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you always hear something. I mean, Shalersville was a supreme example of that because you're like you're literally like not even a mile away from the turnpike.
Yeah. So Shalersville is louder than Old Licking County.
It probably. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I would probably for sure it is. I can almost.
The trains are the only thing that gets you at Old Licking County.
Yeah. I think. But you got the tankers and the big trucks coming off the turnpike, pulling up 44, going right past the house, hitting their Jake brakes.
Yeah.
Shaking the whole damn place.
Shakes the house. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Jesus Christ, man. Move along.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes it really hard to do good EVP work, but we've captured some pretty good EVPs out of there. So
yeah, because you get to a point in the night where it's not as busy. Even with that highway right there by Shalerville, it slows down a bit.
Yeah, it does, and you can hear the trucks coming, so you know when to like tag your audio. It's not like there's just all of a sudden there's a Jake brake going on outside the window.
Right.
You can hear them approach.
You can hear it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
I'm excited for Old Licking.
Me too. I've never been there.
I think this might be my third time there.
Wow.
This will be like my 1.5 time. Because the last time I just considered like halftime. Since we didn't really like investigate a whole lot. But I went
with the Columbus group once. So this will be my third time.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, I don't do a lot of EVPs because I'm not a legitimate ghost hunter.
What are you talking about? What do you mean by legitimate?
Did you get your certificate yet?
Yeah. No.
I'll print one off on Publisher and send it to you.
But like I don't have the normal problems that other investigators have. Like I never I never have a camera. I never record anything, you know, and I don't do EVPs. So like for me, it's really not that bad if it's, if there's traffic or noise or whatever. I'm not worried about it. It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time anyway.
As long as my cat balls work, I'm good, guys. It's fine.
Dude, she even let me keep a cat ball. Like, I got a cat ball. I'm going to have to get it signed by her.
Yeah, you would think I gave him like $1,000 or something. I'm like, you could have that one. He's like, are you serious?
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a cat ball. $2.99 on Amazon. It's fine.
I get an authentic D-Nice cat ball.
Right. That's right.
Holy shit, I could throw everything else out that I have in my gear bag. I got a Denise cat ball.
Just
A
get a little
D-nice
tiny
is all you
coin
need.
purse with one cat ball, and you're like, good. I got my equipment.
Right. So what do you roll with when you ghost hunt? See this little thing right here?
And it makes
called
for
okay.
easy pack up and stuff like that. Just got to put it in
Right?
your pocket and go.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Justin says he's extremely skeptical about
Yes.
using cat balls.
Yeah.
I need to get one to test it.
You
There you
should
go.
get one and test it. I thought you were on top of the latest equipment, Justin. Come on. You don't have a cat ball?
We roll with
No,
cat
to
balls,
be honest,
styrofoam cups, and balloons.
Right? No, to be honest, though, the cat balls don't work that often.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like that they don't, because it's not like, me getting a text message on my phone is going to turn it on.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. He said nuts.
But yeah, I like that they don't go off all the time, because you're not going to have like fake positive results. Like it really takes a lot for those to go off. So when they do, it's even more exciting. Oh, that's my
Nice
sister.
to hear.
I
Thanks,
love
Corey.
You mean this voice?
It is so nice to hear my voice.
Yeah, thanks there.
Oh god.
Thank you very much, Corey.
Oh damn it. It was so early for us derailing.
Oh, that's right. Tonight was about having fun. I needed it after the last 2 weeks. Hey, by the way, unemployment finally called me, so I got that rolling finally. So it's been a good month.
That's ridiculous.
Got a job, getting back.
They're gonna back pay you that unemployment?
Yeah, they are.
All right, good.
Yeah, they should.
Dude, I know this is completely off topic, and I apologize, but I have emailed the governor, I emailed the Senate, I emailed the House of Representatives. House of Representatives were the big winners. They're the ones that have been helping me. And I talked to the guy today, like not even a half an hour later, unemployment called me and took my claim information. So I'm like, yes,
Good.
Thank you, Casey
It's
Weinstein.
about time. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Like you think about the people who don't have a spouse that's working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or that's just crazy.
Yeah, and when you're used to that two-person income, it's a huge hit when you don't get it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine like having a kid and like you don't have a spouse and just and you can't get your money because somebody else tried to steal it from you.
Yeah, somebody has been stealing it for who knows how long, and I can't even imagine how much money these scammers have gotten, because you're not the first person that said that happened to them. Like I even know probably at least 5 or 6 people that happened to.
Yeah, Kate got a letter that somebody did with her maiden name. She got a letter, with her maiden name, and she thinks that somebody like is from the Ohio attorney or whatever, saying that you might have been scammed.
Oh, really? Like a warning? Because I got a letter saying that I needed to log into something because I needed to go online for the claim that I had just put in. I'm like, I never put a claim in.
Right.
This is like a warning or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you guys get letters talking about claims, you need to call unemployment office immediately and report it, even if you don't need it. Because there's people trying to steal other people's money who absolutely need it.
Right.
Anyways, sorry about the diversion there, but
our whole show's a diversion.
Right.
It really is. I mean, it is.
It's the Cryptic Paranormal diversion.
Yeah, right.
Should almost be a variety hour. Right? The Cryptic Paranormal variety hour.
But I wanted to go, if we can jump back.
You talk about
Jennifer
paranormal. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Weird, right? Jennifer said toys are some of the best trigger objects.
Yeah, they are. I agree.
Yeah, and we've talked about that before. Like even just regular baby toys. Like it doesn't have to be, like you have Lincoln's toys going off at your house, right? I mean,
I don't like it.
Just bring a toy
they've been
box.
A little quiet lately, but they were going off for a while.
Yeah. And plus, toys, granted, not some of the newer stuff, but like if you get something that's familiar, you know, something that's been around for a long time, like a ball, you know, that's something that even a kid from the 1800s would play with. You know what I mean?
Right,
So it's safe.
Toys are generational. They certainly have. A lot of them have stayed pretty much the same throughout the centuries.
Yeah. I mean, my kids still play with Lincoln Logs. I was actually shocked how long those have been around.
Oh, yeah, they've been around.
Are they still like the real wood logs or something?
Yeah.
Like, okay. That's what I remember when I was growing up, was playing with those.
Yeah. It started because we were, the kids were actually they were shooting with Adam at the seminary for his Return to Madison episode.
Oh, okay.
And so, you know, we dressed the kids up, and I was looking for toys, like what kind of toys would they have played with? Yeah, I agree, Lacey.
They hurt like hell.
But I was looking up toys, you know, what kind of toys would they have played with in this time period, just to make, I don't know, because I wanted to make sure the video was good. But I was looking it up, like so many things have been around forever that you have no idea. I was like, Lincoln Logs, really? So that's what they're playing with in the episode.
I used to love Lincoln Logs, man.
Right? And I know Legos are terrible, but at the same time,
I remember chewing on them, and they were definitely made of wood. I remember my mom yelling at me all the time because I'd walk around pretending like they were cigars.
Oh my God.
What was that? Wait, while we're off topic a little bit, what was that other thing that we used to build with that like had circles and they would have spikes?
Tinker Toys.
What was it?
Tinker Toys.
Tinker Toys, and then you could build a whole thing with them.
Yeah, those are cool too. But yeah, I don't mind when Legos are a pain in the ass, but I don't mind when my kids play with them, just because I don't, you know, it's not electronic and they have to use their imagination. And so I try to let them play with them whenever they want.
I love
the monkeys. It's a barrel of monkeys. And he's like, what's that bucket with a crap ton of monkeys in it?
Yeah, I remember those.
Came in a barrel, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, bringing back memories.
Right?
Yeah, pick up sticks. Holy crap.
Yeah. Monkeys in a barrel, yeah.
Good stuff.
Right.
Welcome to the Crypto Toy Corner, where we talk about vintage toys and how we have them.
Right. Where we talk about how old we are without saying how old we are.
Right. But no, like, guy I used to investigate with, he used to bring an Etch-a-Sketch to see if like, he can get spirits to use that to draw with, you know.
Man, if you got somebody to draw with that, that'd be awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd stick around after that.
Yeah, like I could even like draw my name, and I like see people like do like portraits of Abraham Lincoln on those things, man. I'm
that is like crazy stuff they do, man.
Portraits of Abraham Lincoln.
Corey
says, happy when I could do a straight line.
Hands in your pants was my shit.
Corey is like stupid good at that game. Like it pisses me off. Like she could just get every single one in there. Like don't ever play with her, guys.
Castle Grayskull.
Oh, that's sweet. I still have my Cabbage Patch Kid.
Really?
Yeah.
I had none of my original toys.
Me neither.
I wish I did, man, because some of that shit would be like worth some money.
Right.
Like, some of those Star Wars toys that I had. Holy crap.
I mean, I
if I had Star Wars, you know, if I wasn't 5 and like had an imagination, I would have known these things.
Right. You just wanted to play with the toys. You didn't want to keep them.
Yeah, screw it. I wanted to blow them up with firecrackers and
oh, that was so fun.
Destroy the Death Star. You know what I mean? Yeah. I used to tie my G.I. Joes and shoot them with a BB gun.
Right?
What?
That's normal. Kids do that.
Yeah, it's normal. Absolutely. Yeah, Voltron. I remember Voltron. Anyways, yeah, toys are good in ghost hunting.
Yeah. Oh, that's where we were at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hello, Mr. Bob. But yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. We're adding some things here and there. We're working on a couple of events that are kind of a little under the radar at the moment, but we're working on a couple things. And we still got the documentary hanging out there that we are planning on shooting.
We'll do it. We'll do it. Yeah. Don't worry. We'll get it done.
And it's just so funny because I was so like from the beginning, I'm like, we'll get it. We'll do it in the natural pace as we can do it. We're not putting a deadline on it, but here I'm constantly thinking about it. Like, we got to get this done. We got to get started. But no, we don't. And it'll come out when it comes out. You know what I mean? And we'll get it done when we get it done.
Right. Everything happens when it's supposed to. It's fine.
I think Heisenberg probably needs to lose about 3 more drones before it's time.
I'm afraid to fly it now, man.
I bet. I would imagine.
I don't blame you.
I took it out the one time and it was like I got a high wind warning on the thing, and I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done for today.
Yeah. Just don't send it on any more rescue missions. That's all.
No more rescue missions.
Oh
Keep it in, no trees within 100 miles.
Kate showed me where I'm allowed to play with it in the park.
Oh my God.
Did she tape it off for you? Like, you cannot cross this?
I know where I need to go. Let's just say that.
Okay.
That's funny, man.
Until I get better.
Investigating that park was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
We investigated the park that he's talking about because there's actually bodies still buried in that park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like we should recap that story real quick just in case nobody's heard it before.
Yeah. So go ahead, Mike. I'll let you take care of that one.
So there used to be.
It's got to think about it. It's got to get warmed
up.
Keep going.
In this area, there was I think it was a Summit County poorhouse, and it was it's down the street. But I think it's by the zoo. They had it, the Akron Zoo, but they would come down this way, and they would do all kinds of farming and all the regular things that like those places would do to bring in money, not for the people, but to keep it going, I guess. So. Obviously people just started getting put in there like all the other, things back in those days where, if you were undesirable or something, let's just put them in the poorhouse or let's put them in the, it was just a standard thing to do back then.
Right.
So apparently in this park that's like a block away, I mean, I could see it, but they were burying people, and I'm not sure if they were burying them standing up or not, but I think they were just burying, like, they buried a lot of kids there. It's buried a lot of people. And what's weird is if you go on Google Earth, you could actually see the indentations of the graves.
That's crazy. And so what they did.
Schneider Park.
What they did is just put a park over it instead of like giving these people, their own graves or anything, because they probably don't even know who it is. But there was a documentary on it, right?
Yes. God, what was that called? The Voice of the Silence or something?
No.
I'd have to look it back up.
Guys.
Yeah. Come on, man. Casey's watching us. What are you doing, man? I think it's called The Forgotten Dead.
The Forgotten?
Yeah. No, The Forgotten Dead.
The Forgotten Dead.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's really cool though is like a lot of the actors throughout the documentary are actually played by autistic adults and
people
children.
With autism and
because
cool.
they have a theater group, I think, and that's who was doing it, because I think the University of Akron is the one that did this documentary, or they it came from that. But it's just weird. So when Schneider sold that or whatever, he told them that they can't build anything on top of it. Like basketball courts or anything like that.
Right.
So that was one stipulation, but I think they get away with it by putting soccer goals up there, and they play soccer there.
Right.
Yeah. So there's still, it's still used for recreation.
Yeah. And
running
what's weird is there's just one little placard on a bench that's
all that there is as a memorial to everything that happened there.
That's crazy.
One little plaque, but I mean, I don't know. It's weird. Definitely a weird feeling walking across it at night. Definitely some weird energy. We were getting EMF hits, like spikes, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think when it gets warmer, we need to revisit again.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it was kind of chilly that night, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and somebody threw away my Pepsi.
Oh no! Yeah.
The night was ruined.
Yeah.
I know how that feels. Like they're throwing away my stuff. I know it, man. Punk kid.
Barb Young was watching. I had to bring up the whole Mountain Dew thing again, but
yeah.
At least it was taken by somebody you know and enjoyed. They just threw my Pepsi away like it was nothing.
Yeah. Well, it was a warm Pepsi, so they probably assumed it had been sitting there for a while.
Right. Probably some lame-o just left their Pepsi laying in the park.
Right.
They couldn't walk the 5 steps to throw it in the trash can.
Yeah.
It was seriously, there's a trash can 5 steps away, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Lord, check it out. It's pretty cool. I have a feeling people were wondering what the hell we were doing out there, though.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a pretty rocking neighborhood. There's people walking around the park, enjoying it.
It's a very busy area.
We're standing there like asking questions in the middle of the night. Like they're like, "What the?"
And you're like, "If you're here, can you turn these lights on?" And they're like, "What the fuck is that guy doing?"
And we're like, look at that box. And we're pointing at the little blue box that's sitting like 10 feet away.
That they couldn't even see anything lit up. Probably we're like,
"Oh right." Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we need to revisit again.
I'd be down for that. Denise can come out.
Yeah, for sure.
See what happens.
Yeah, I think I'm going to watch the documentary again though before, because like I said, it's been a while. I can't even remember what it was called.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look on that park on Google Earth, you'll see the indentations.
That's so crazy.
I think they were up from the 90s. They were even they were still finding stuff. I think the University of Akron did like an archaeological dig there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They did an it was part of the the archaeological department and the
anthropology.
Yes, I couldn't think of the word. Anthropology department. Actually, I think they talked to the professor that was in charge of the whole thing.
Yeah, and we almost had him for the investigation, but he just couldn't come.
Dustin, we're lucky to get to Southern Ohio.
Right.
Going to Texas. That's a little far.
I've been to Texas once. It's hot.
Same. Yeah, and people drive like maniacs.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. It was hot and people drove like maniacs.
Yeah. San Antonio was pretty cool. That's where I was at.
Yeah.
I mean, I got stuck in the airport for 11 hours and stuck for another 23 in Atlanta. So
sounds like a great time.
With my ex-wife, so yep.
Oh wow.
Huh. So me, I can't sleep, so I was up the whole time.
Oh gosh.
But San Antonio was awesome.
Yeah, no. That's too much for me. Dustin, it's not even about the speed. It's that the people go 80, like 2 inches away from each other's bumpers. Like
for
80
some reason, I thought that was like the wind. And I'm like, geez, it's just nothing.
Yeah. Like, I don't mind the speed. It's the fact that everybody drives like 2 inches away from each other's bumpers. It's dangerous.
You need a big truck to feel safe there.
Yeah. Or just don't drive. I don't know. Oh, and I went to Punderson.
That's cool.
Just gonna rub something else on your face. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, really? That's like been on my local Ohio bucket list for a long time.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it until Brandy invited me. It's Punderson Manor. It's part of
yeah, it's in Punderson.
The park systems.
It's in Punderson Lake, up like towards Geauga County.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in Newark.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. But it's also an active hotel. Like they just let anybody check in, so we actually got in trouble for ghost hunting. But
oh, did you?
Yes.
I thought at one point they used to allow it. Maybe they don't do that.
Well, the woman at the front desk was not there when we got there.
Hmm.
And when we got there, the guy that was at the front desk was super nice. And he's like, I don't care what you guys do. You know, you're paying customers. They rented a room. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he's like, go wherever you want. You know, any of the public areas, that's fine. I don't care what you guys do. Just have a good time, whatever. You know, don't be loud. And so then we were in the dining room for a long time because we were having a ton of good activity. And so there was a shift change, and the woman came in and she saw us in there and was freaking out. Like, the dining room's already been sanitized. There's no more ghost hunting during COVID. And we were like, what?
Oh, shit.
Like, okay, first of all, we had permission. It's not like we're just doing this, you know. Second of all, we've already done touch the tables. Like, you already have to re-sanitize it. You might as well just let us hang out for a little bit. Like, you don't have to be so angry about it. We said we were sorry. But I mean, even the room is active and you can investigate in there. But
Brandy said, Goose, I would have invited you. Thanks, Brandy.
She would. She was nice. It was fun, though. You know, for a Monday night.
So I got the picture of Schneider Park right before they did the dig. I'm going to throw it up on the board.
What?
Yeah, so like there's a soccer field, and you can actually see where the graves are.
That is crazy.
Yeah. That's a close-up of the aerial view. And you can see, like, you can feel like when you walk across, there's like divots and stuff.
People just play soccer.
Yeah.
Right on top of
And there's
people.
like no memorial. There's besides that little plaque on a bench.
So when they did the dig, did they exhume the bodies and like move them, or
some of them?
Some of them.
What they were able to dig up and find like intact, they moved them actually out towards where I live in Monroe Falls.
Yeah.
Stowe area. There's an old cemetery there that they put the bodies, and I don't know if there's a memorial for them there. I haven't really looked. I've been meaning to go over there and look, but that I know of, there's not. They just moved them over there, and I don't know what kind of headstones they have to mark them or anything.
Wow.
They did exhume them and move some of them. I mean, if you watch the documentary, like it's a short documentary.
Yeah, like 27 minutes long. It's not that.
And a lot about, and most of it is about mental health and how we used to treat people that way. But it starts off as basically about Schneider Park and what they were doing with, and like how it correlated to the whole mental health institution at that time.
Right.
It's really interesting. And like I said, the actors were all, on the spectrum in some way, shape, or form. They did an awesome job, and I absolutely, you fell in love with them as actors, and like they interviewed them in between just like as themselves and whatever. But it was really cool. But I mean, the beginning, like that whole area after they moved out of there was just a big swampy area.
Yeah.
And like people would like cut through the field and like the trees and the swamp to get to other places, and they would find bones.
Oh my
God. Sticking up out of the ground that would just move themselves up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could tell the swampy area too, because like the park, and then all of a sudden it kind of dips down to almost like there was a pond there at one time.
Yeah. It's got a weird angle to it. What's up, Brian? Well, we got something going on with Brian too. Probably don't want to get too much into that either. We got a lot of secret projects going on coming up, so we should be hanging out with Brian soon.
Is that place? Is it like Fairfield where they don't have the names of the people that are there?
Yeah. You have no idea. There's like I said, there's absolutely nothing there besides that little plaque that just says Schneider Park donated. I can't remember what the word for word it was, but it was very small, very unfeeling. Just I don't know. I feel like the park deserves at least a nicer memorial than that.
Right.
For what was there. You know what I mean?
But I bet you it'll fall into the same thing that happens in a lot of places. The people in the neighborhood be like, no.
Well, yeah.
That didn't happen.
Probably.
Yep. No, I was just
I'd be all for it, but
some buildings have more official records than others. So I didn't know if they actually were able to figure out who it was or not.
That we know of, no. And I'm sure there's a lot of cover up too, because I'm sure a lot of them probably didn't die from natural cause.
Right.
You know what I mean? Probably worked to death or, you know, from injuries because there were no safety protocols in what they were making them do, that type of thing. You know, just really sad.
Starving.
You know, I don't even think the building itself, the institution is even still standing. The building was torn down long ago.
Long ago.
The only thing left standing that had anything to do with that is that field.
That's so crazy. See, that's so sad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Justin said, it's pretty commonplace. I mean, you know, people just, I don't know, big business. They see an open field, they want to make money off of it, and they buy it. And a lot of them, it's happened since the beginning of our American institution when we started colonizing these places. People were paid to like remove burial grounds and stuff and replace them, and they said they would just dig up a bone, throw it in a box, and they had caskets and caskets filled with like 1 or 2 bones. You know, that they had found. It probably one body that they exhumed, but they put all their bones in different boxes and said, "Yep, these are all the bodies that we moved. Everything's clear." And that's, I mean, I actually saw something. I was watching. I don't know if you've ever heard of the podcast Lore. It's just called Lore. It's about weird. It's just like weird stories, paranormal, just oddity type stories, and they were actually talking about that situation where a guy was paid like ungodly amount of money for that time period to exhume bodies and move them so that they could rebuild a colony there. And he said he did it, but he didn't. He just filled a bunch of baby boxes with, you know, fragments of bones or whatever he could dig up without too much work, and made an ungodly amount of money.
That's crazy.
But those bodies were still there.
I will say that I'm glad that he made that stipulation that they couldn't build anything on it. You know, I mean, at least there's not basketball court and all that, you know.
Right.
And that's probably how they get away with the soccer field, because that's all, you know, above ground. You don't have to dig.
You can move it.
Like nothing.
Yeah. Like the goals don't stay there. They're gone, you know, after the game and everything. It's just back to normal straight park. So.
Oh, okay. It's still just the thought of like just people running around.
Yeah.
It's still.
You know, it's funny too, because, you know, when my mom passed away, she's buried in a cemetery that, like, growing up was right across the street from the community I lived in. And we used to sneak back there and do all kinds of things. You know, we used to have parties back there. We used to play baseball in the open part of the field.
Wow.
You know, it was owned by the cemetery. There were no bodies there as of yet, but we're still, you know, playing baseball and partying in a cemetery.
Right.
Just, you know, now that my mom's there, you know, my mom's buried there, I'm thinking like, man, if I ever catch a kid fucking around back there, I'm going to kick the freaking shit out of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, you know, stupid things we do as kids.
Yeah.
And I still enjoy going and walking around the cemetery, but that's a different thing now than it's just a spooky place and a fun place to hang out as kids, you know, at night. And
the cemeteries are made to be like parks.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at a lot of cultures, people visit, you know, the Day of the Dead. Almost every culture has some sort of day where they honor the ancestors, and they gather around the grave site, and
people would just have picnics there.
Yeah, they have picnics
every day, like that. You know,
have picnics. They would leave gifts. You know, it's weird. I was just talking about this with my daughter because I happened to be scrolling through Facebook before the show as I was eating my dinner, and something caught my eye. It was this family just recently. They actually had their family member taxidermied, kind of, in a sitting up position, playing the drums as he would have been as if he was alive. And I'm like, okay, that freaked me out a little bit. It's not something I'm used to, but if that's what people want to do, if that's the way they want to honor them, then my daughter and I started to have the whole discussion. Like, she's like, why would they do that? That's so horrible. That's so weird. I'm like, it's not to them. I mean, there's cultures that people have their decaying ancestors still in open caskets in their house. Like,
dude, did you see that? There was a documentary about this. I can't remember where it's at, but they dig up their loved ones once a year.
Yes, yeah,
Change their clothes,
yep.
and
They
have a
doll them
party
up and
with
make them
them.
look all nice. They give them cigars, and they're some of them are holding like a glass of whiskey or some kind of liquor.
Yeah.
And they set them up like they're having a party.
Right.
And people. It's just different cultures. It's the way they celebrate their dead. You just, to us, it's like, okay, weird.
Right.
But, it's not.
I try to be very open-minded, and I understand that people have different cultures, and I'm honestly, I'm very accepting of that. Like, hey, whatever. Honestly, with everything in life, whatever. You happy? Cool. All right, I'm fine with it. But that was one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if I could get behind that one.
Yeah. Right.
That's a little.
But actually, I saw that documentary. I know exactly what you're talking about. But Josh Gates did a whole like mini series on the afterlife, and like how different cultures celebrated death, or like how they honored their dead. And he went into like, is there a God? And he went into near death experiences, that type of thing. But he like visited cultures where, like I said, I can't remember where there's like Middle Eastern country, like out there in the jungle. These, their houses were up on stilts, but they honored the dead by keeping them preserved in like a room of their house. And I couldn't even say they preserved, because they were pretty much decaying, and like, flies flying around. And Josh Gates, you could see the culture shock when he walked in to see what was going
Josh
on.
Gates so much.
And he's like, you could tell he was trying to hold back vomit. He was just like, but he was trying to explain how different people honor their ancestors or the dead by doing these certain things. Like they're still family members, so they still deserve to be in the household.
Yeah.
But not for me.
Yeah.
But that's not my culture. That's not the way we grew up.
Right.
And he also visited India or another Middle Eastern country where they parade the body through, like, this is like right after death, though. This isn't like years later.
Right.
They parade the body through town, and they take him down to a beach, and they have like a little gathering, and they light them on fire. They just light them on fire right in the middle of the beach.
Like on the beach? Okay.
Yeah. And like literally you could see like there's multiple families just having these bonfires of family members,
honestly, if it is in India, India is very overpopulated.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
They probably don't have a place to do that. And I don't see, maybe it's just because I really have a thing for Viking funerals, but I really don't see a problem with, I would be okay if you guys want to light me on fire after I die. I feel like that's fine.
Yeah. And like Justin said, he wants to be cremated and have his ashes placed in a place his loved ones remember him doing things they love. So,
and I love that idea just because of the journey that your loved ones would have to take afterwards, where everything's so sad when somebody passes away. And I think that if they were to take your ashes and actually go to all of those places, then they're forced to have good mememories. They're forced to remember all the good things. I think I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. And go ahead, Mike.
Did I read in Maine that they're going to start allowing Viking funerals?
Yes, you did.
Yes. And, I think that is so cool. That is amazing. My wife thinks I'm insane, but we always have the discussion, like, what do you want done? So we know. I mean, that's a conversation you have to have with your loved ones, right?
Right.
So they know how to honor you the way you want to be honored when you pass away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is an amazing thing. I love that idea.
Yeah.
And it's not legal in Ohio, but she thinks I'm absolutely nuts because she's like, who's going to light the arrow and like shoot it? I'm like, just right.
I will.
But no, seriously, I think that is such a, like, just I don't know, just being sent off on a river in a boat, your ashes, and just being carried away on a new journey, a new part of your life. Yeah. It's very, very picturesque, very romantic, I think.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, it's
I'm
a
sure we could do it
warrior's
in
death.
Lake Erie if nobody knows what we're doing.
Well,
So,
sure.
right.
I'm sure I could get away with
Right.
it right here, and
I mean,
I could go in Portage County where I used to fish in Cug River and probably set it off right there, and nobody would bat
and
an
even
eye.
if somebody calls the cops or something, it's going to take them a while to get there. I'm sure it'd be done by the time they got there.
Right.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, I mean, so I told my wife we're going into Maine in June. If something happens, just take care of me there. Just
right.
let it happen.
Yeah.
You know. Also, while we're in Maine in June, we changed some plans because we're spending a whole day in Salem, like halfway there. So we like don't have the long journey. Which Salem, bucket list, right?
Sweet.
I don't care where we go in Salem; it's a bucket list the whole time.
Just stand in front of the sign that says "Welcome to Salem."
We made the last minute decision to take our dog, which I don't know about yet.
Okay.
We're just afraid that she's going to like get whacked out being away from the family for a week. She was totally messed up the last time we went on vacation when we came back. And with COVID, and she's just used to somebody being in the house all the time. And she freaks out when we leave. So we're worried about leaving her in the house and like having somebody check on her. So we're just going to experiment and take her, which will whatever. Anyways, we changed we made a hotel change.
Okay.
We actually found an old, like very historical inn right in Salem. So that's like notoriously haunted. Nice. And I'm so excited to spend a night there.
And you get to bring your dog.
That's cool. My dog. My daughter's like, Dad, can you bring your EMF reader? So like the one you met. Well, you met both of them, but Eliza, who was the active ghost hunter that day, she's like, "Can you take your EMF reader and can we do some recordings?" I'm like, "Yeah." Is that a question?
Don't tell Mom.
My wife thought it was absolutely awesome. She's like, I'm so glad that she's like interested in doing something with you. She was like really into it when you took her to Madison. So
it was awesome. It was so cool to watch them.
So yeah, I mean, that was a really cool change. I'm like, I was able to like kind of cool down a little bit about having to take the dog with us and like get amped up about staying in a haunted hotel.
That's a good trade-off.
Yeah, I think so. And we've been taking her on car rides, and she's getting better and better. And we're figuring out how to like keep her calm. We're getting her some sedatives for the ride.
Be careful with those.
Oh, we are. We will.
They are very strong.
Yeah. Well, our doctor is giving us specific dosage and everything. So
yeah. We did that too.
We're not just buying them off of Amazon and feeding them to her.
We had our vet told us to give her like a half of a pill, and I gave her like a quarter because by the time I broke it, it was such a teeny tiny piece. And I gave it to her, and like her eyes were all droopy, and she couldn't walk. Like, maybe test it out a couple times before you guys actually go.
Right. Test it out on Ray.
Well, I mean, we got to give her Dramamine because she gets car sick so easily.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much a sedative for her. She ends up knocking her out almost the entire drive.
Nice.
But I wanted to go back. Somebody actually had a paranormal question. And to touch base on Justin real quick, imagine how emotional it would be if the person who shoots a flaming arrow to ignite your body.
I mean, it's symbolizing, like they said, it's symbolizing starting your new journey. You know, I don't know. I feel like it would be emotional, but I don't know that it would be all bad emotion. I think it would be a positive emotion. Yeah, I think it would be an honor.
There's always going to be the sadness because your loved one is gone.
Right.
Ray, it would be an honor to set you on fire.
Right?
Thank you. Thank you. And I will provide whatever you need. Well, my wife will.
All I need is lighter fluid.
Right. So hopefully Christy is still on because she actually had some questions for us. She wanted to know what's the scariest situation you encountered, and have you ever been scared of anything following you home, or could spirit demon follow you home? I'll start. Scariest situation for me is when, as a story that I've told a million times, I feel already in Madison, when I actually let that negative energy in to the point where it actually overtook my thought process, and I was no longer in control of my body and the words coming out of my mouth. Would I call it demonic possession? No, absolutely not, because there was nothing demonic there. There's definitely a lot of negative stuff that have happened there. and probably negative people that have worked there or been a part of that building.
Mm-hmm.
So, not thinking, I was provoking to start off, which is no good. And I think by provoking, I opened the window for that negative energy to like find its way into me, to the point where I realized I wasn't even the one talking anymore. It was the negative entity speaking through me and causing or trying to cause harm to other people. So that, not being in control of yourself, not cool. That's, and it's happened other times. I mean, but now I kind of feel it oncoming, but it's harder for me to snap out of it. Like, I feel it coming ahead of time, but I mean, Denise has seen it firsthand. I mean, just a dark clouds swirling around me. She couldn't see me, and I was sitting like literally right across from her at a table.
Yeah. It was like the glass that's over the rose in Beauty and the Beast. It was just darkness, just all around him. And it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, so that was scary, and I was not feeling right in the head, and I had to leave and walk out of the house. And it was just funny because I had just talked about how kind of quiet it was. I made a Facebook, like, it was oddly quiet tonight.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, as Madison does, the minute you think you know what's going on, the exact opposite will happen. As far as, yes, I do fear that something, if I'm not careful, will follow me home. I think they haven't stayed, luckily, because I would have had my ass kicked and probably kicked out on the street myself.
Yes.
Could a spirit follow you home or demon follow you home? I feel they could if you're not careful.
Yeah.
You can take some of that energy home with you. You definitely have to be careful. You definitely have to protect yourself. And I've always, tried to be the badass. So like, I don't carry talismans. I don't carry protective rocks or crystals or anything like that. But that has changed, in the last year or so. I started carrying around I don't have it with me, but I have a little bear that's carved out of bloodstone that I carry with me. And I always have, like, my Thor's hammer pendant on or something, that means something to me. Anything really that you feel power from, that feels like it's something. It doesn't have to be a particular crystal. It doesn't have to be, if it's like something your mom or your dad gave you that you love holding, that just makes you feel good, feels like that it gives you a protective circle, carry it with you.
Yeah.
And if you want to sage yourself, do that. Whatever you feel does the job for you specifically, that's what you should do. Because
it's just like everything else, with paranormal investigating. I feel like it's all about intent. So, if I feel like this box of crayons offers me protection, then that's my intent and that's what it's going to do, so just if you have, you don't have to read on the internet what is going to keep you protected. Just what do you feel like is going to keep you protected?
Right.
Everybody's got different things. And sometimes the energy that follows you home is not even an actual spirit. It's just your altered mood. And so that's another thing where you just have to train yourself. I've learned that when I go to an investigation, as soon as I pull in the driveway, I drop all my baggage in the road. That's it. You can't go into an investigation angry or upset or in any sort of altered emotional state, because that's when you become a target, and it's the same thing. Yes, if you're at a location and you want to help the spirits that are there, like you yourself have to recognize that my helping them stops at this building. There's so many times where I've wanted to, you get spirits that'll call out for help and I want to be like, just leave, but you just have to recognize that you can't take them with you. You can't take their problems with you. You can't take, any of that with you. So that's important.
What's your take, Heisenberg?
I have stuff follow me home all the time.
He's not lying.
Yeah. The old ladies.
Yep. My demographic.
Yep.
Yeah, they love
The
them.
old ladies like a Heisenberg.
But yeah, I mean, they follow me home, but they don't stick around. Like, you know, if you're straight up with them and say, hey, I always tell them, I was like, you can stay for a little bit. Wait, you just don't be messing with me. Don't mess with anybody here. Don't show up in any mirrors, but have some fun.
Right.
Don't show up in any mirrors. Yeah, I totally agree, Justin. I feel like there's something that draws empathetic people to be paranormal investigators. So that's very true. It's very easy for us to be overwhelmed with negative emotions.
Yeah, I don't think this is just something you like wake up one day. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to this old building and see if there's ghosts. I'm gonna see if I believe in ghosts today.
Right.
Maybe.
I think it's part of the human condition to wonder about the afterlife. I mean, I think it's just innate in all of us.
Well, yeah, because you're eventually going to get there.
Right.
But I feel like what keeps us going back, at least for me and a lot of the people that I investigate with, what keeps us going back is, being empathetic and feeling those emotions and wanting to help. I don't know. Even if it's something little, like if a spirit asks for flowers and I give them to them, like I feel so much better. I feel like that was a successful investigation, anything that I can do to help. But I feel like a lot of people who are in it for the right reasons are very empathetic and can feel all of that.
I'm in it for the t-shirt.
There's t-shirts.
Just want to be part of the Black T-shirt club.
Right.
Are these like their t-shirts?
Justin, we are attracted to decay, history, nostalgia, and gloomy, creepy shit.
Yeah.
Not rainbows. Well, it's like that's part of it too. And I mean,
I like rainbows too, but
there is a thrill of investigating the unknown.
Yeah.
And like it's much akin to like I want to know what's in the afterlife. I believe that there are ghosts.
Yeah.
I believe in ghosts. I believe in the possibility of Bigfoot. I believe that we're not alone in the universe. And I like to investigate that. And if that makes people think that's like edgy stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I would never do that. You're crazy.
Yeah.
But these are the same people that are cliff climbing and jumping out of airplanes. And I'm like, it's no different, really. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
What are you trying to find? Are you trying to like confront death? You're just trying to confront death in a different way than I am. You're trying to like look at death in the face and like, haha, didn't get me today. Maybe next time.
I forget what I was watching with Kate, but I was like, who the hell likes rock climbing?
Yeah.
Why?
Justin, I have to go back to this because it's not just, it's not just the afterlife. Like, I am such a fucking nerd about like when I go into a building, like even still, I've been going to the seminary for 3 years, like all the time. And sometimes I'll just walk down the hallway and get like goosebumps just thinking about the fact that like this building was built in 1847. How many people and how many different people from all walks of life have walked down this hallway, this very same hallway that I am walking down right now? Like a lot of it is that for me too. It's not even the paranormal. It's the history part of it, and the decay and whatever. I think that the decay, honestly, you take a building built in 2020 and go check on it in 170 years, it's going to be gone. You know what I mean? Like the decay to me is amazing that these buildings are able to withstand what they've been through.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I love the history part of it and just thinking about all of the people that have lived there and went to school there and worked there and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm a total nerd about it, but there's just something so cool about that.
The old adage, they don't build them like they used to. Is certainly.
Have you seen our hinges?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. You should have seen the doorknobs before they made us remove all of them. Whatever.
Yeah, I
But
definitely
yes,
like
skydiving is trying to make a ghost. Correct.
Yeah, no shit.
It's
We'll
really
talk
just
to you
like,
tomorrow.
yeah, just people trying to cheat death. People trying to figure out if there's a life after death, so I know if I die,
Right?
what's next?
Yeah.
Brandy,
No.
is it wrong if I like dead people more than live ones?
No.
A lot of
No.
Not at all.
No.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Right there with you.
Much easier to talk to the dead than it is to talk to most living people these days.
Yes.
Right? Did you see Sean's comment? Sorry.
Have you ever worn a bright colored t-shirt to an investigation just because you knew everyone would be wearing black?
I might have to start.
Just to defend myself, I've always worn black t-shirts.
Right?
Even before I was ghost hunting. But that being said, no, I see your point.
I've always worn black and dark stuff too.
Right?
So
it's like,
yeah, it was
a natural progression to me.
Yeah. It's just growing up in our era of Gen X and listening to grunge rock and rock and roll t-shirts are usually 9 times out of 10 they're black, or any t-shirt worth buying is black. Right. But no, I've seen the team, one of our teammates, Todd, they had bright blue and neon green. Yeah. So I've seen some people try to pull that off, and it's pretty cool. I'm not saying it ain't. I just find black more flattering.
Right? It's slimming. I need that.
It matches most of my shoes.
Yes. Right. That's the main reason for me right there, man.
Yeah. You gotta have them match your shoes, right?
You know what though? The 80s was like all super bright colors. So maybe we're just all resentful that we had to live through that 80s and 90s bullshit with like all the neon colors. So we're like, I am only wearing black and dark gray for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Too much investigating was like in the 80s. Do you think they had like parachute pants and
we can't even like walk quietly because it's like
members only jacket?
Yeah.
It's a real question.
Have you ever investigated? No.
Investigated Franklin Castle.
Kathleen, I had the chance, and my truck broke down on me on the way there. It
was not meant to be, Ray.
Nope, it was not meant to be. But I haven't really tried to get back there, so partially part of that's my fault. But I've heard it's kind of a difficult building to investigate, but I'd still like to give it a try.
Mm-hmm. Is it like the House of Wills where it's in a bad neighborhood?
Yes, that, and also I guess the people who are, it's busy, and the people who take care of it, I guess, are pretty much like stuck to you like glue the whole time you're there.
Oh.
And which is fine. If they're trying to preserve the place and make sure certain things are not trying to get out. They're very strict about any kind of filming. You pretty much wouldn't plan on filming anything while you're there. They claim ownership of anything that you film or take pictures of in the building, which is fine. That's the way they want to be. I still like to go and experience it, though. I'd like to check it out. But that's what I mean by difficult. It is, and it is not the greatest neighborhoods either. Yes.
Oh God. Poor Shelly, like twice. When we were filming with Julie and Terry, her leggings just disappeared on the infrared, so she looks like she's just wearing a t-shirt and like nothing else. That's true.
Good old Shelly no pants.
Right. Chris, I love your team logo. I can't do white though. I got 3 boys and but I do like the purple ones.
I can't keep white shirts clean.
No. We have
I never wear white.
We have well water too, so I can't.
Yeah, I grew up in a house where we had well water and it's not good.
No.
Everything just turns rusty, like yellowish. Sucks.
Ours is fine. Like it's not like gross because we have that aquifer that runs underneath the house. But
as you can see, like my Gone Ghostin' shirt is showing some wear. It's getting a little grayish, losing its blackness. The lettering and stuff is starting to fray. We're gonna have to find a new printer soon.
Yeah. We can.
So you can order some new
Actually,
shirts.
there's a lot of people in the chat that have, teams and whatever. If there's anybody local that knows a t-shirt place, we need to find a new one.
Hey, since I had the stomach flu last Monday, I could fit into that other Cryptic Paranormal shirt that I had that was too small. Seriously, I do.
There's a perk. I had
I
this
lost like
flu.
7 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I lost 7 pounds.
Holy shit, man.
It was a bad Monday, man.
I had the swine flu when that was a thing. Like,
are you wearing a Browns jersey?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the draft day.
Whatever. It's fine to know we live in Cleveland.
I was excited that I was like, oh, well, at least I'll lose weight after all of this. No, I think I gained 2 pounds. I'm like, how do you not eat for a week and gain 2 pounds?
Yeah.
Thanks,
dude, I thought I was going to die. I told Kate that I was sorry I didn't have enough money to leave her.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Kathleen. I meant nothing by it. Seriously. I didn't. It's just what I've been told. It's what I've heard. Honestly, there's Cleveland is weird because even in the bad part of town, or what people call the bad part of town, there's always really nice houses.
Yeah.
And really nice people.
I love all of the old houses out there.
Yeah.
They were like,
especially in her area, that whole area, like Tremont, Franklin Square, or that whole area, on the west side of Cleveland.
It's like
there's it's like very artsy and really nice and revival stuff going on. You'll have 2 or 3 really cool houses with a bunch of really cool people. Then you have the crack house, and then you have a bunch of nice houses, and then it's just weird.
Yeah,
it's just like a weird mix, and there's still the city life going on around you, and just
right.
Yeah, a lot of those houses, especially around here, for the Goodyear people in Firestone, man, they're really nice houses back in the day.
Oh yeah.
She's like, I'm kidding. It is rough here. Oh, well, I take everything back I said. It's a horrible neighborhood. But no, I was serious.
I don't even know. I don't even know where it's at.
No, I have a friend who used to live in Ohio City, and I used to live in Lakewood, for a while. And it's the same thing there. A lot of beautiful mansion even looking homes, in Lakewood, and go right across the street or low income, projecty houses, and it's it's just so weird. I mean, and I know it's that way in a lot of cities. There's a lot of areas trying to revive and rebuild and stuff, but there's still stuff going on. Love Tower City,
in the arcade.
Downtown,
I used to go there. It was cool.
I want to start a paranormal store, sell used equipment, Bigfoot and alien stuff. How can I start? Any ideas? I have no idea, Laura.
No idea.
I don't know how anybody makes that work. If you want to talk, it's a great idea.
It's just so much startup.
It's a lot of startup. Yeah. I would honestly, if that is something you're seriously looking into and you want some suggestions, find Joe Pieri on Facebook. If you're not already, you're probably already friends with him. I'm sure you are. Yeah. We've had him on the show before. He's got Paranormal Oddities, which he's moved into a different location because he's grown so much so quick.
Yeah.
And he has events there. He has psychic classes, all kinds of classes, paranormal classes.
Potion making
classes. Yeah. He sells all kinds of paranormal equipment, alien stuff, Bigfoot, cryptic stuff, witchcraft stuff, all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah. The only problem is it's in New York, and I want to go so bad, and I want to see it really bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's it might end up having to be a road trip for us, but that'd be
fun. If we go to Hinsdale, I mean, it's still pretty far away from Hinsdale, but at least you're in New York.
But yeah, honestly, if you're looking to do something like that, I would not have any clue on how to start that. Besides, talking.
If you went the wrong way to start it, we could probably help you.
Right.
Yeah.
Write a business plan.
There's the Berries too that have their own place. The Ghost Exchange out in Gettysburg. You can talk to them. They're always really cool people. We had them on the show before.
I feel like you'd have to start online just to build up, money to get.
Oh yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah, because if you have a storefront and then all of the, the inventory, like that's a lot of upfront. You probably gotta
it's overhead. Then you want
figure
that.
something out before that.
I was like, who wants to go to House of Wills on East 55th?
No.
I do.
I'm in. I'll go back. I've been there so much. Nothing has changed. It couldn't have gotten any worse. The neighborhood still. I was just there today. Well, in that neighborhood because we had a lot of deliveries there. A lot of. No, never mind. There's just. I was there a lot this week. A lot of deliveries and pickups of oxygen in and out of that neighborhood. But, yeah, seriously, I would totally go back several times.
What was that? Oh, that's a human person. It's fine. It's fine.
That was my kids yelling from upstairs. I have no idea what's going on.
It's a live
They
person.
don't have a bathroom, Eddie. It's the worst porta potty in the world.
They do not have a bathroom.
Wait, where at House of Wills? They don't have a bathroom?
Not one to use.
It was a terrible porta potty, man.
So you have to go outside
next time.
There's a porta potty that, or you have to drive down the street to a McDonald's.
Oh my gosh!
Go there.
No, I'm out.
So don't eat, don't drink any fluids before you go. If you do, when the Ghost Brothers were there, they're the only actual TV show that has actually fallen through with filming there.
Yeah.
They have, I know Ghost Adventures have sent scouts there, Ghost Hunters, Ghost Nation, all those shows has sent people there to look, and they've all been big no's.
Yeah.
Big notes. Ghost Brothers actually went through it. They investigated there. There's an episode about it there on their show. I was in the parking lot. I was supposed to be interviewed. I was supposed to be on the show. Without getting too involved with the actual story, there were some technical time issues. So my interview ended up getting cut. So I ended up sitting in the parking lot for 4 hours for absolutely nothing.
Oh, gosh.
But they had to have their own porta potty and they had one of those porta sinks brought in with sanitizer and shit. They had to pay for that themselves to bring it in and have it on site for them to have a place to use.
Oh my God.
They paid for security. They paid the local police to be there on site the whole time.
That's good.
Yeah. So. And the police they cruise by there quite a bit. If they know you're there and you tell them they're there, they will cruise by every once in a while to check on you, make sure your car is still intact. But I know when I was there, we were shooting with Resident Undead. That whole story at the end with hearing the noise and me walking down the hallway with shaking, scared out of my shit, pointing a gun, and Adam screaming at the top of his lungs, "If you show yourself, Ray's going to shoot."
He's going to shoot. I love hearing Adam tell that story.
And the whole time I'm like, maybe I should actually load the chamber.
Right?
Are you telling that?
Shit, I have bullets. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on, I gotta go out to my truck to get the bullets.
Right.
Rebecca had called the cops too, and they were there in no time. I mean, they were there pretty quick. So
that's good.
There's nobody in the building, was there? So
No, and that's the weirdest thing. The noise came from where there's a supposed residual activity from where an actual person was shot by a shot in the stomach and killed, murdered on the front steps after a drug deal went bad.
Oh my gosh!
So you hear this scuffle and sounds like somebody's trying to break in, and then a banging noise, and then that's when they thought somebody was actually trying to break in. Nobody was there. Nobody was outside. But like I said, Rebecca called the cops. They came real quick. They checked the perimeter. They walked through the whole house. They told us their own ghost stories of being called in there for people being thought. People have broke in there. People have squatted there quite a few times. I know.
Just get those windows and that roof fixed, man.
Yeah. Patty Mahone, who used to run the paranormal hunts there and stuff for Eric, the owner, she used to go in there with her gun up in the air. She's like, "Motherfuckers, better get out of here before." It's just crazy stuff. But
that girl sat out in the parking lot with our security. She was
that
on
house,
security one night.
Wow.
it is so worth it though, because it is so crazy. Just to even if you don't have off the wall activity. Why am I hearing myself?
I don't know. It's fine though. It's not echoing for us.
Okay. Oh no, I don't hear it anymore. It was a
Okay.
freak thing. But it's such an amazing place to investigate. There's just so cool. If you could separate yourself from the outside, and it's hard to do, and I understand that, but
isn't the haunting like very negative as well?
Not all of it. I don't think it is.
I think you would fall in love with the building, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would. I mean, I think it would make you sad of the repair, like how in disrepair it is, because it takes a lot of money to fix that place up, I'm sure. But
yeah,
you would love that building inside there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is sad too, because there's a lot of stuff in there that I think should be in a museum, or like preserved somehow. There's picket signs from the civil rights movement in there, because that was like the Mr. Wills actually offered up that location as a member of the NAACP as like the central hub for demonstrations and their group meetings. Martin Luther King had visited there several times, and was part of marches out of there. I mean, it's just, the building has an amazing history. And even before Mr. Wills, it was a German music house, German socialist club. Right after that, it was a Jewish Hungarian hospital.
Wow.
And it's like they kept building onto it. It's like, if you think about the mansions and like when you watch Scooby-Doo, right? Where you walk in and there's like a hallway this way. You go up there and then there's more steps going this way and that way. And you can get lost so easy in this place. It's ridiculous. Cool. You know, there's basements, but then there's sub basements.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And you're going down the basement and there's like a really nice, like old, I guess it would have been the restroom for when it was a funeral home.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
It's just crazy.
We were in the basement, but of course we had Trent, so we were sending him all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, Trent, why don't you crawl under there?
Oh my gosh.
Why don't you see what's over there?
So what are they doing with all of those, like the picket signs and the artifacts and stuff?
That's the pisser. They're sitting there rotting. A lot of them were half like demolished because they're just sitting there getting flooded on, getting rained on, or just going to hell. I mean, there's pictures of African American people like from times in history. Like, I don't even know who they are or how they're related. Like, I don't know if they're members of the Wills family. Right. I don't know if they were members of the NAACP. You know, I don't know who these people are. There's nothing saying anything, but they're there. They're just there. There's pictures of Martin Luther King. There's books. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff, but nothing is being preserved, and it's really sad.
It is.
Yeah,
really cool to see, but really sad.
Yeah. It was a hospital, an opera house too, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Originally, it was built by a mason. So you got that whole thing, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
It was built by a mason. I believe it was used partially as a Masonic hall. It was also a German music socialist hall. Then it was a Jewish Hungarian hospital. And then Mr. Wills moved his... he had always had a funeral home, but he moved into that location after he broke up with an ex-partner that he co-owned a company, the funeral home with. He branched and just took himself and moved into that place, and took on the whole building. And he would have interracial marriages there. If like you fell in love with an African American woman, or if you were whatever, interracial marriages, he would perform the weddings there because nobody else would do it.
That's awesome.
Interracial funerals. I mean, he seemed like a really cool guy. He was a really eclectic guy. He definitely lived lavishly. He was a pretty interesting fellow. He had this whole room that he built to have the local kids come in and have a place where they could just he called it Wonderland. So the local kids would be able to come in and just enjoy a day in a nice house, and He'd have like he had a whole train room set up where he had his trains. Seemed like a really interesting guy.
Yeah.
And they had a big ballroom area where they'd have host parties, like crazy parties, from what I hear. um, and his family, after he left, kind of let everything fall into disrepair, and there's a lot of family drama after he passed away.
There's like 2 House of Wills too, so make sure you go to the right
yeah, the other House of Wills, like that's one of the things that happened. The other house, like the House of Wills, it was owned by his daughter. She took it over, and I guess she was performing cremations and stuff that she wasn't actually doing and taking money for them. So I don't know what she was doing with the bodies or whatever, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's another House of Wills that was in more east side Cleveland than.
Yeah, I can't think of where it was.
Yeah. It's a much newer building. Like it was, but yeah, it's just weird stuff.
It's so sad though that all that stuff is just sitting there. Like those are stories. Those are people's stories. Those are people's lives.
Yeah, Sean nailed it. They set old Christmas cards, all sorts of things. And you sit there and you can go through this and just read about these people that you don't know. Like I feel like it should be preserved somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not my building. It's not my stuff. I can't tell somebody how to do things.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys know that I was posting about that house, the Sawyer house in Menor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was built in 1813, maybe 1837, maybe.
Yeah.
And Menor is totally overbuilt as a city and overdeveloped, and they have a ton of empty buildings, but they decided to tear down the Sawyer house and build a Trader Joe's. So, they tore the house down.
I don't understand why they wouldn't move it.
Because I used to live there. I got out of there for a reason. They don't care. They said they're going to save the stones from the outside to use as a project in a park, and that's pretty much all they're doing. But I have a friend who shall remain nameless who stole me a foundation stone from the house. Cool. So that's awesome. Now I have a foundation stone from the Sawyer house in my front yard.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I was happy because, they want to take these stones and make some bullshit like, memorial, like they care so much about the house. But yeah, Brandy.
Like for a Trader Joe's, it's not even a Target or anything.
Right. Oh God. Right. And they already have like 16 grocery stores. It's so stupid. But there's a lot of shady shit that went on, with them doing it. Yeah. So
that's kind of the same thing that happened with the Barber Mansion down in Barberton, the place that we used to do the ghost hunts for. Yeah. The mansion wasn't standing when we were working there. That had been torn down for
We've decades. Seen the fireplaces though.
Yeah. There's still like the foundation, and they've been like doing the land. I don't know if they're still doing it with Steve having passed away, but they're trying to make it like a park where they're actually like uncovering the foundation so you could see just how massive this mansion was.
That's cool.
But yeah, it was a big point of contention with Barberton at that time. The family that was trying to get something, a business they zoned, and they owned the property, and they just basically tore the mansion down out of spite because they weren't getting the way that what they wanted. Yeah. So this big, beautiful mansion that was preserved and saved, and they tore it down just because.
So disgusting.
Before you could walk the foundation stones, but who knows if they changed that.
Yeah,
we brought Satan worshippers and witches to our.
Oh my God! Yeah. So yeah, so when we first started working there, we did like the Spirits of Anadine tour, where we were taking them all around to all the different spots that are from the Barber Farm or the OC Barber Farm that are still in existence today. Mm-hmm. A lot of them have been bought and repurposed into other things, which is really cool. But these buildings were beautifully built. Like the architecture on barn buildings were beautiful.
Right.
And just the stonework that was involved with them.
It was beautiful.
Just they're beautiful buildings. One was like the chicken barn, which they converted into a daycare, like a modern daycare.
Wow.
Yeah, they're using some of the barns like for that reason.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
like the pig barn where we have always had like the main meetings and where we had the first Goose Project MS fundraiser, Paracon, they actually redid all that and converted it into an event space, which is why we kind of got kicked out of being able to do ghost hunts there, which sucks for us, but it's cool that the barn is being preserved and still being used in some fashion.
Right.
There's other barns that have been reused. One is owned by another company that they're plant startups and then they ship them to people. They start plants, like they start growing them and they ship them out to be like, they're like a nursery.
Right.
So like a lot of them are in beautiful condition. Well, so we're taking these people around and we're telling them all the ghost stories that are attached to some of these buildings. And then we take them to where the Barber Mansion used to stand. We were allowed there because we had the Barberton Historical Society with us and we had their permission. But to get to that place and to get to the entrance, you had to park in a cul-de-sac of a very ritzy, nice neighborhood. Rich people. And you had to walk in between, even though the Barberton Historical Society actually owned that land that we were walking on, they made a huge stink. All those people on that cul-de-sac made a huge stink saying we were performing witchcraft and demon work by taking people back there.
You should have just pulled a piece of their hair and told them.
And talking about ghosts. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to kill your cats. I'm going to take your cat or your dog, and I'm going to.
God. What is wrong with people?
People are just ridiculous. I'm like, we're just teaching them about the history and giving them some ghost stories.
Right.
Maybe you would enjoy it if you'd open your mind and like walk back 5 steps with us behind your house.
Yeah.
Where a mansion, a beautiful historical mansion, that this town wouldn't be here if that person didn't build this town.
Right.
You know,
the wishing well is still there.
Yeah, the beautiful wishing well is still there. Anna Lake is still there, Lake Anna, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful park right in the middle of downtown Barberton. I mean, what they've been able to save and preserve is beautiful, but some of the people there, man, I can't believe their thought process.
Yeah. I wish that, we get a lot of negativity. It's dwindling down, but there's still negativity in Madison about the seminary.
Yeah.
And I really just want to invite all of those people, like all of them.
Right.
If you have an issue, come and see. I'll give you a tour. I'll show you around the building. I'll tell you the history. I'll show you what we're doing. I'll show you the fact, like all of the work that's been done to preserve the building, because if a building is old enough to be in black and white pictures, you fucking save that shit. Okay. You don't tear it down. You don't let it rot. You take care of it because our history is disappearing. So maybe instead of being an asshole, maybe be happy that you have this group of volunteers who make no money to come up here and fix these buildings. Like, you should be happy about it, not sitting here saying that we're doing witchcraft and devil worshiping. No, you know what we're doing? We're scrubbing floors and we're redoing plaster. Like, that's what we're doing. Like,
people are ridiculous. I mean,
I know.
It's very disheartening sometimes. And, but when you go do a flashlight tour and see how many people show up and pay their hard-earned money to be a witness to what we're doing there.
Right.
It's pretty, it makes you feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Just wish everybody had the same thought process and thoughts that we did and feelings on saving these places.
Right. Like, maybe put some of that energy and that hatred into saving these places,
Not thinking about what a great parking lot that would make if we just leveled that historical building.
Yeah.
We could put a Dollar General there.
Trader Joe's.
That's what they think, man. They don't care.
Yeah.
It's just so sad.
That lot would look great as a Dollar General.
Right?
Or we should put a Sheetz there or Get-Go.
Yeah.
Just stupid.
It's so frustrating.
They just tore down a bunch of trees in like a nice, really wooded lot park area in Stove to build a freaking another car wash. We have like 3
good.
already. We already have 3, and then there's another one.
Is it a tropical rainforest car wash?
Ooh,
I don't
those
know.
are
It's right off of Steele's Corners. It used to be like right behind Sheets, which I know there's Sheets there, and there's always Route 8 there. But like, my sister-in-law lives like in the house, a couple houses back from there, and it was beautiful. Her backyard was beautiful. Like all the trees blocked them from all the Route 8 noise.
right.
They have all kinds of wildlife. You'd sit there and just watch turkeys come in and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's right, that whole area is just beautiful with the trees and stuff. And they cut all that down and cut all that shit out and put a freaking another car wash. I'm like, still doesn't need any more car washes.
Right. And then you get cities like that. Like Mentor's the same way.
Yeah.
And they tear down all the trees. If there's like more than an acre, they're putting a fucking subdivision on it.
Yeah.
You know, tear down all the trees, put another freaking subdivision. You know, and then they're like, we have a problem with the deer. No.
I wonder why.
They have nowhere to live. You know, like we have just as many deer out here in Madison, but they have woods to hide in. You know, they don't have to be in our backyard. It's like, it's just, I guess I just don't understand the appeal of it. You know, like tearing down all these beautiful buildings and all these trees and just throwing in Dollar Generals and car washes.
Yeah. It's sad.
When Sheets has a perfectly good car wash itself.
Right. I know. That's what I'm saying. And like,
how many freaking car washes does a town need?
There's a BP right. There's a BP right across the street that also has a car wash.
Yeah, Sheets is the better one though.
Well, yeah. No doubt about that.
No, if they're building a tropical rainforest one there, I don't know. I might have to drive up there and go through it.
Those are cool. They got little koalas that poke out. It's fun.
What? Seriously?
Just kidding. I don't agree with the car wash, but those are a cool car wash. If you're gonna get one, that would be the best.
Yeah. I made Kate turn around once to go through it. So we passed one in Hinkley or something. We were going through Medina, and I was like, "Oh, tropical car wash." And she's like, "Yeah." And then we passed one on Medina. I was like, "Turn around. We're going through the car wash." So she did.
Can we go? Can we go? Can we go?
Yeah.
Can we go?
That was basically it right there.
Oh,
I want to see what's in the tropical forest car wash.
They're fun.
That's funny. I've never been through one. We have one in Stowe called Zoom, which is the kids like it because you go in and it's like all like neon and like you feel like you should be at a rave, like turning on some kind of like techno music when you're driving, like oof, 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 because you know it's all like neon and like shit. Lasers off and everything.
That was some good beatboxing, by the way.
Thanks. Appreciate it. I tried really hard.
Yeah.
We need a haunted drive-through car wash. Yes.
Okay.
The tropical rainforest does a Halloween one.
Or
No.
serial killers.
What's that?
Or serial killers. A serial killer car wash.
Yes. Everybody dresses up like a serial killer from history.
Yeah.
Like it could be like a no brush, like everybody's like a hand wash place.
You just stare at them.
Yeah.
Right? Just stare while you're washing their windows. That wouldn't be creepy at all.
Your windows
People
are
would
clean
go to it
now.
and you know it.
Oh my God. Right.
People would go. Oh my gosh, it's already 9:50.
I know.
What the hell?
You know, I saw Ashley talking about me. I bet you she'd dig a tropical forest car wash.
She probably would. I bet she'd like a serial killer's one better though.
Oh, better, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what made it pop in my head anyways. The serial killer one.
Speaking of serial killers, how's Ashley Storm? That's what popped into your head.
Hey.
That's funny.
Oh gosh.
Certain things that sparks people in my head.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
That's funny. And I'm hearing myself again. Now it's gone. Weird. Oh yeah, that'd be neat. Yes, it would, Laura.
It would.
It'd be really cool.
Patent that shit.
So anything going on this weekend at Madison Seminary or Fairfield that you know of?
I don't know.
You've been too busy ghost hunting.
No, I am spending time with my husband this weekend. I know.
What?
I know. He's been working like 60 hours a week.
Oh wow,
and,
yeah.
You
It
know,
is the season.
I haven't seen him in a long time, even though we live together. And tomorrow is his birthday, so we are going to go get a hotel. We're dropping the kids off. We're doing a wine tour. We're doing adult shit tomorrow or Saturday. So
very cool.
Oh, hello, Mason. I met Mason this weekend or this week at our Monday night investigation.
Very cool.
He is 11, right, Brandy? And he was at our ghost hunt and he did amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, he was having so much fun with it. We, did lessons in grounding and things like that. So, and shielding yourself and whatever, but he did so good. He's such a good kid.
Well, she's same age as Eliza and she did really good too. So
yeah,
we're next generation coming up.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay. Oh, I thought he was telling us he left it there. Like, hey, can you ship that to me?
Oh,
well, that's
cool Brandy said he's totally hooked. That's cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
He was scared at first. He's like, I don't want to do this, and then that was it. He did sensory deprivation, and that was it. It was game over. He didn't want to stop.
Yep.
He's hooked now. But that was a good place. That place reminded me a lot of Shalersville. Very active, but it wasn't like anything super negative. There actually was children there, and so of course they were drawn to him. So he was picking up on a lot of kids when he was doing the sensory deprivation, but that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's somebody their size, they're gonna talk to him.
Yeah.
But he was good.
Y'all never need a tag along. Let her know. We will, Laura. Absolutely.
Laura, I'm usually the tag along.
Yeah. Sorry, that spot is already filled.
That's how I go to places. Is I just go tag along with other people. Honestly, I'm
finding out like between like you and like Peggy and Eddie,
you
guys who aren't necessarily a part of a team are part of many teams. You do a lot more than us actual teams that are put together.
I told you guys I was going to be like Eddie Pence when I grow up. Well, that's what I'm doing.
Well, I don't know if it could be that cool, but
I know, right?
No, I mean, but that's cool. I mean, that's a cool thing about our group though too. I mean, like if Heisenberg wants to go with somebody and do his own thing, that's fine. I mean, we don't play those games in our group.
Yeah, that's good. You guys are the minority though, because honestly, there's so much drama with groups lately.
Well, like with what's going on with Licking County in May. Like, unfortunately, Sean couldn't go because he's got something going on. It's a Friday night, and I think he has to work.
Yeah.
Is it a Friday night? It's a Friday night, right?
Yeah.
It's a Friday night.
It's Friday night. And he's got to work and everything, so it's like, we do what we can.
Kate's staying home with Lincoln.
Yeah, and Mike Bigley, he's staying home with their kid so that the wife Bethany can come. Squatch is coming.
Yeah, Squatch.
John and Hillary. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good mix of people. You and Shelly, and it's going to be awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and I know Terry and Darren are really excited because Darren keeps messaging me. Like, dude, I can't believe it's so. It's like, you're Dark Alley, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, it's going to be so fun.
Yeah,
like, me and Terry are going to be there. Yeah.
I told him that I was tagging along with you guys. Yeah. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, now I'm nervous to give a tour. Because he's been on my tours at Madison. So he's like, now I'm nervous to give a tour. I'm like, Darren, it better be the best fucking tour I've ever seen in my
life. Nice.
You should be there with a notepad.
Right?
Yeah, I like that.
Nope. It's got to be a red pen too.
Yeah.
So, Darren, I had a few suggestions for you.
Right?
Yeah. Start off page 1.
Yeah. Let's start over. I'm going to do it this time.
Right. No, I'm pretty sure they have their shit locked down.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I'll probably sit out the tour so I can actually make it through the whole building during the investigation.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, honestly, since I started this new job, it's so much more physical. I'm slowly starting to get my legs underneath me again. I've lost a few pounds already, so
wow.
Really pushing myself on this one. They told me, and I was scared for a minute. I don't know if I could do this, but now that I've been out on the road a little bit, and I think once I got all the things, the million things that I have to learn to do this job, it's taking oxygen into people's homes and teaching them how to use breathing machines and stuff like that. It's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
But it's also very physical because those tanks ain't light.
No, they're not.
So you're carrying in like 5 to 10 of them and setting up their machines, and a lot of them. I mean, I've already been into 3 or 4 COVID houses, so it's interesting. But
it's amazing how much air weighs.
I know,
right?
And it's really not the air, because the smaller tanks I could carry like 3 or 4.
No, it's the containers.
Yeah, it's the metal in the containers that are huge. It's not. You're jumping up into the van, bringing them down, carrying them.
No, they're heavy.
Carrying them out. It's just not something that I've been sitting in front of a computer at a desk for the last 8 years, really.
Yeah.
Just sitting all day.
Yeah.
Now I'm driving, but I'm getting in and jumping in a truck and doing heavy lifting up and down stairs, and hopefully I'm going to be in shape, either or that, or it's going to kill me. One of the two.
Well, you'll have
Can't wait to find out.
Right. But no, I'm hoping in the long run it's going to benefit me physically. I know mentally, I feel like the job itself, I'm feeling like more like fulfilled. Like something I'm doing is helping people. So I'm no doctor, but I'm keeping you alive with the oxygen, I guess.
Right.
You're an oxygenologist?
Yeah, right. I'm a delivery technician.
You're an oxygenologist.
Yeah, that sounds better. Yeah, but yeah. So anyways, that was a little off topic, but
yeah.
That's also the reason why, why I wasn't on last week and why we took the week off, because my brain was fried. But you guys, it was really cool talking to you guys tonight. I mean, everybody watching, talking to you guys, felt really good.
Yeah. Fun. I like when we do these.
Yeah, I do too.
Obviously, I like having guests on too,
Yeah.
But it's fun every once in a while to just focus
on. Yeah, it's fun having guests on, but there's always a lot of pressure.
Right.
There's no pressure with these, really.
Yeah.
No, we just get on and whatever we start talking. We don't always talk about paranormal 100%, but we never do with guests either. So it doesn't really, we tend to get off topic a little bit, but it's just fun, like hanging with you guys that are watching the show and interact with us in the chat room. And, we have our regulars. I saw a lot of newer people tonight, so that was really cool. But it's just cool, like hanging. It's like therapy.
Right.
And it's funny because I'm setting them up and I'm like stressing out, like I can't get this ready, I can't get this up, I keep typing things incorrectly, but then once the show starts, it's like showtime, and I'm like, yeah.
Right.
This is so much fun. I love talking to you people. I love talking about ghosts or whatever weird stuff that we're talking about.
Right.
I just wish I could see the comments. I can't see the comments anymore.
Because you're using your phone?
Yeah, so. Which is kind of, actually, it's probably better with my ADHD, a little bit more focused.
Yeah, you wouldn't be paying attention. It's hard.
Right. You'd be like.
I do that anyway, so yeah, I have to be. I mean, you're talking about a guy that almost wrecked his car because the clouds were pretty.
Oh.
Wow.
Listen, clouds could be really pretty sometimes.
Yes, yeah, Laura, you need to watch the show more.
Yeah.
And if you haven't liked our Facebook page, you need to hop over there and like us.
Yeah, because we're so close to 2,000, guys.
Yeah.
If you
get to 2,000, we'll stop bothering you guys. No, we won't. So it definitely helps. We like having everybody watching us, and we like seeing new faces in the chat room.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunately about that time. Fingers crossed. Next week we got Robert Murch coming on. He's kind of the Ouija board master. He owns the Ouija board museum, I believe it's correct?
Yes.
And which I also believe is in Salem.
I think so.
I believe it's in Salem.
Robert Murch is responsible for 2020 because right beforehand he built the world's largest Ouija board.
Yes.
And then 2020 happened.
And then 2020 happened.
So if you've seen the meme where it says this is why 2020 happened and it's a giant Ouija board with all the people standing on it, that was Murch. He had something to do with that.
Yeah, well, that is also like a traveling thing now because it's being rebuilt in other towns. So they put together. It's like a novelty thing. People go and visit and check out, and then they disassemble it and take it to another city.
That's cool.
It's like the big rubber duck that shows up in bodies of water around different cities. But no, it's really cool. Can't wait to talk to him. I've been wanting to have him on the show for a while.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We'll get the truth.
A big planchette, though.
Right?
Yeah, it was too. It was like multiple people that had their names on that movie. But yeah, totally looking forward to that. Hopefully, I was right into Salem because I'm probably going to visit it when I'm out there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So we'll have him on next week, and then we'll see what happens after that. You never know with the Cryptic Paranormal show. It's always a crapshoot.
Especially now that Goose has a job. We don't have
it could be a cooking show. We don't know.
Yeah, right.
We'll figure it out. We just like to wing it sometimes. Right. Keep you guys on your toes.
It might be the occasional Thursday night where I'm on call and I have to leave halfway through the show, but
What?
No.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, well, it's like once every 7 weeks.
Okay, well, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
It's not a big deal. He told me he said.
Did you tell him? Did you say I have this paranormal podcast?
Yeah, he's like, do you have anything during the week that you would have a hard time doing if you were on call? I'm like, the only thing I'm really committed to is every Thursday night I have the Cryptic Paranormal Show on the RU Media Network Facebook page and YouTube page from 8 to 10 p.m. where we talk all things paranormal and have a good time.
I'm the Goose. You don't know.
But he's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, we'll try to make it work. And if we have to change things around every once in a while, that's fine. We could figure it out. So it's not like he's like, it's a crapshoot. He's like, even if you're on call most of the time, during the week, it's just a quick call to tell somebody to go to their backup tank or whatever. But okay. It's like you have to leave or go do anything. So,
that's good.
And he said nothing is that much of an emergency.
That's good.
Yeah. But
it's only somebody's oxygen.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like breathing and stuff. It's fine.
Yeah.
Somebody's life, the show.
Right. We have pizza to talk about.
Right. We didn't talk about pizza tonight. Anyways.
Yeah. We don't have time.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, everybody who's watched tonight.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Super stoked to see you guys, and we will spook you later, crypto heads. Have a good weekend.
Bye. Guys.